what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video we're going to Google Earth. I found what looks like possible fuselage from a recent plane crash about a year ago today. We're going to go down to the South Sandwich Islands and take a look at that. Also in that same area, we're going to check out a 90-mile, we've talked about this before, 90-mile long iceberg that is drifting to the northeast. Now it looks like it's on a collision course with the South Sandwich Islands. Sean sent me that photo. We're going to zoom Earth to take a closer look at that as well. Also in this video, we're going up here to Newfoundland, where I received a photo from Mang K of a large roll cloud via the International Space Station. Put together a little slideshow of what was shared with me by Mang, and I measured this structure in the sky above the North Atlantic Ocean right off the coast of Newfoundland, and this thing's actually over 1,500 miles long. Also in this video, I've got a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos sent in from all around the world, but first, we're going to start with the roll cloud. Here's the photo that was shared with me from the International Space Station, and you can kind of see a structure right there. He sent me in a video clip of that same area as the space station was flying over the North Atlantic. And this was actually about 3 days ago. I just received this footage today, and you can see the space station making one of its mini orbits around the Earth. This is just a screen grab I took from today. That's not current. This is from about 2 or 3 days ago. You can see the long roll cloud right here off the coast of Newfoundland that spans north and south. I measured that area where the structure's at, and it's actually over 1,500 miles, closer to 1,600 miles long. A complete structure in the sky, not really visible from land. And we've seen these types of things before. Like a couple of years ago, we saw a roll cloud or some sort of a structure span several thousand miles, covering both the north and south hemisphere. This one's not quite as big, but it definitely has similarities. And again, this was from just a couple of days ago, December of 2020, noticed by Mang K. Now I want to go down to the southern hemisphere near the South Sandwich Islands. I came down here on Zoom Earth to look at the large iceberg that we had mentioned about a month ago, headed towards the northeast. And now it looks like it's on a collision course with the South Sandwich Islands. And what's unique about this situation is they're both about the same size. This iceberg is 90 miles long, and so are the South Sandwich Islands in this area right here. This is the direction that iceberg has been drifting. And we're also going to come back and look at this article about the 2019 Chilean Air Force C-130 crash that occurred down here in Drake Passage, and I think I may have found a very large piece of fuselage from that aircraft. It looks very much like the bottom side of a very large airplane. But we're going to go down to this large iceberg first, and you can see it here at Zoom Earth. This is dated December 14th of 2020. A lot of cloud cover down here, and this was the only opening I could find with both the iceberg and the island chain over here, the South Sandwich Islands. And this is definitely the direction it's headed. It's on a collision course with the islands, and they're both, and I'll show you, we'll measure real quick, they're both about the same distance in length. This is about 90 miles long. We'll measure the South Sandwich Islands, and they too are about 90 miles long. Look at that, same exact length almost. 88.7, and the iceberg is about 88.7, give or take a few tenths of a mile. But anyway, they're about the same size. I don't know what the weight would be of this very large iceberg, but it is moving in that direction, and it is going to collide, at least it looks like it's going to collide with the South Sandwich Islands sometime here in the coming days. Right now, it's about 50 miles away from the coast of the island chain right there. See that right there? 50 miles. See that? 50 miles from the coast. But as we're going to see here on Google Earth, there are smaller islands in this area. Check this out. We're going to go to Google Earth. This is where the iceberg is at, right in here. And we'll measure here at Google Earth. We'll go in miles off to the southwest. Right there is where the iceberg sits, right in here. And it's headed in that direction. I don't know that I've ever seen this before. I don't know what's going to occur, but I do know this. There's a smaller portion of the island chain right out here in the direct path of the very large iceberg that's headed that direction. Right there it is. See it? So I don't know how that's going to unfold here in a few days. It's going to make contact with the island, if it's going to break up into pieces maybe, if it's going to overwhelm the smaller island. I don't know. But there's a 90-mile wide iceberg headed towards the South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands right now as I do this video. But I was over here looking around and I noticed something that kind of looked out of place, at least with regard to color. And then when I got a little closer, I noticed the shape was kind of unique, and there's no other icebergs in the area, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of a rare iceberg out here all by itself because there's no other icebergs in the area. That's blue water. The more I looked at it, the more I thought that looks like a piece of an airplane, a very large airplane. So I did a little bit of research. I found this article, and I remember this occurring back in 2019. It was almost a year ago. December 9th of 2019, the Chilean Air Force had a C-130 Hercules crash in that area right here, not too far from the South Sandwich Islands, at least as the crow flies. Well, the water currents go that direction, and I think a large piece of that airplane ended up right over here. When I measured this, it measured 44 feet wide and just over 100 feet in length. And that's consistent with the size of one of those very large cargo planes. So what I did was put together a slideshow of different angles from that image you saw right there. There's the original. I zoomed in as close as I could get. And I want to show you what this looks like. See the wrinkles like right here, and there's wrinkles right there. That shows me that was a sign of force, of impact. Doesn't look like an iceberg. In fact, it's a different color. And you can see something square right there as well. There's something square attached to the side. This looks blue, maybe light gray, 110 feet long that direction, 44 feet long that direction. Keep in mind, if it was a closed tube like aircrafts are, it probably wouldn't be quite 44 feet wide. Probably be more somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 feet wide, which would be consistent with one of those very large planes. And you can see the edges of this piece of debris, possibly, I don't know. Nice round edge there and there. It's not jagged like you would see on a lot of icebergs. And in fact, in this area, as we'll look at again, there's no other icebergs in this area because I don't think this is an iceberg. Here it is in a different format. I'm just trying to pull forward maybe any other surface features, looking for writing, numbers, letters, anything on this piece of what I think is a large piece of debris. That looks like some sort of a square box on the side of that thing. Definitely doesn't look natural. Here it is in a inverted format. Light is dark and dark is light. Looks like to me that was part of a large aircraft at one time. And I think maybe it was the Hercules, the C-130 Hercules, that went down in Drake's Passage about a year ago in 2019 as it was departing South America, headed towards a research facility in Antarctica. And unfortunately, it did not make the journey. So the crash occurred over here in 2019. And I think that's a large piece of debris that went that direction, along with this very large iceberg that is probably, I don't know how fast this thing is moving, but it's about 50 miles from the coast of the South Sandwich Islands. So I would say if this thing were moving even at 2 miles per hour, you know, it's going to move about 10 miles a day, somewhere in that ballpark, give or take. That's if the currents stay exactly the same as they are right now. At some point, this is going to make some sort of contact with the South Sandwich Islands. And you know that that iceberg is extremely heavy. So I don't know how that's going to unfold. We're going to keep a close eye on it right over here at Zoom Earth. Also in this video, I've got a brand new picture slideshow I want to share with you guys. New sky phenomena photos sent in from all around the world. I'm going to start off here in Glenpool, Oklahoma, LaDonna Sea. Some very bright blue skies amongst everything else that was dark gray and light gray. She said they just looked out of place, and I totally agree. I would have been doing the same thing. Jesus out of Chula Vista, California. It's a very bright pink skies on this day. Leanne S. out of Eugene, Oregon. Big jumbo halo around the sun, very low on the horizon. This is the moon out of Woodland Hills, California. Sent in by Linda. Big halo around the moon. Mike S. out of Jarrettsville, Maryland. Beautiful pink skies, pink and purple. Boy, that is absolutely spectacular. Got another photo here from Mary Hall out of Paris, France. She noticed this on a sky cam. This is a bright orange, about as orange as you can get, sunset from Paris, France. Good observation by Mary. She also noticed this very unique sky out of Istanbul, Turkey. What looks like an eye in the sky. This too from a sky cam over in Turkey. How about that? I tell you, Mary does not miss a trick. I've also got some more footage that Mary has shared with me from the International Space Station that I'm very confident you guys are going to enjoy. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. All of the photos end up here at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery at the website, and sometimes I'll use them in a video slideshow just like you saw right here. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.